Thank you, Speaker. I present the Renewable Energy Legislation Amendment supporting Renewable Communities Bill 2017 and the explanatory memorandum.
The clerk.
First reading a bill for an act to amend legislation relating to renewable energy to improve support for the community energy sector and for related purposes.
The member for Indi.
Mr Speaker, I move that this bill be now read a second time. Colleagues, across Australia, in the media, in this House, we know we've got a problem with energy. We've got a problem with price of energy. We've got a huge problem in rural and regional communities with manufacturing in communities with prices going up. Now we know that the Prime Minister is working on the big picture, but I reckon there's a really important part of this whole infrastructure a really important part of the jigsaw that would make a really big difference, and that's the support for community energy. It's part of the answer. And to date, I'd say we've been working at the global picture of energy prices, and we haven't paid nearly enough attention to the role of communities and local governments addressing this problem. And this bill is part of that solution. And I have to say the bill is particularly directed to the work of ARENA, and I'll talk in a minute about how that can happen, but the opportunity to actually put community energy as a really central part of resolving the problems that we're facing. So, Mr Speaker, with the bill that I'm proposing provides greater certainty to communities looking to develop a community energy-based model. It encourages innovation and investment and to ensure best practice planning to support the growth in community energy. The bill will give certainty to a sector that is still developing, and that while programs may come and go, and while governments may come and go, their industry will remain part of the conversation at ARENA and CEFC. The bill amends the functions of ARENA to allow for funding of planning, development or implementation of community energy projects and development by the community energy sector of innovative businesses and financing models. It clarifies ARENA's role in collecting, analysing, interpreting and disseminating information and knowledge on community energy models and a role in advising the Minister on these matters. The bill also makes additions to the functions of the CEFC to allow investments in community joint partnerships or other community energy models to support sector development. The bill defines a clear role for the CEFC to support accelerating the commercial viability and self-sustainability of community energy projects. And recognising that ARENA and CEFC both play a role in supporting community energy is reflective of the original intent of when these organisations were established in 2012. The Supporting Renewable Energy Communities package brings together the ARENA Act and the CEFC Act once again. So, Mr Speaker, if I could actually talk to some of the detail about this. Really and truly, communities in my electorate of Indi, as I'm sure in your electorate, are absolutely taking the run with solving the problems to their own energy costs. And I'm really proud that in my electorate not only have communities like Yakandanda got together, but councils are working together. And led by Indigo, Benalla Council, Winton Wetlands, Renewable Albury-Wodonga, Totally Renewable Yakandanda, Benalla Sustainability Futures Group, Up to Us Landcare in Mansfield, the Wangaratta Sustainability Network, the Murrindindi Climate Network, North East Water playing a leadership role, and Albury-Wodonga Towards Climate Health, among many, are establishing strong working relationships with local and state government and industry groups to develop their own solutions. And these include supply-based projects like renewable energy installations and storage, as well as demand-side projects like energy efficiency, demand management and community education. So we're working on both sides of the supply and the demand equation, which we know is so important because this is an economic problem we're facing. So one of the most ambitious and successful projects to date that I've talked about often in this House is totally renewable Yakandanda. TRI, as it's affectionately known, are actively working towards their goal of 100% renewable energy and energy sovereignty by 2022 by introducing energy measures to reduce the total amount of energy the town consumes and by increasing the amount of renewable energy generated by the town through the installation of solar systems. And to support this, they have established the TRI Perpetual Energy Fund. So this local community has its own philanthropic fund. It's raised money and it reinvests to do community energy in Yakandanda. And they provide a no-interest loan available for energy-efficient or solar installations. And this Perpetual Energy Fund has supported the installation of large solar panels on an array of community assets, including the Yakandanda Community Development Company, which is a community-owned and operated fuel station and farm produce store, but also the supermarket, the hospital, the med shed, the community centre and the Yakandanda Folk Festival. And TRI are now working on a business plan that will refine the community energy model. Now, this innovative approach has the potential to be replicated right across regional communities, helping to boost regional Australia. And herein lies the role for the Commonwealth. So to date, in my electorate, we've got local communities doing extraordinarily good work taking the run. We've got local government providing support and infrastructure and employment opportunities. We've got the state government absolutely coming to the party, putting money in. And the gap is the Commonwealth. And while the Commonwealth's working on energy, I believe that if we could bring the Commonwealth to state government, to local government, to this community sector, we'd actually have the trifecta working and unleash the power that our rural communities have to really and truly develop sustainable, reliable energy systems. Now, of course we need a national approach, of course we need national policy, but the community energy sector is one really important part of the jigsaw. And so what I'm proposing today is if we could bring ARENA to the table. Now, you'd say, Mr Speaker, why hasn't ARENA been there in the past? It sounds so obvious. Well, initially they did. When ARENA was set up under the previous government, they did do a little bit of work with community-based power. But I'm understanding just anecdotal evidence it didn't work out so well. But the industry has really matured now, and it's time for another approach. And I'd be saying to ARENA and to the government, it's a bit like an elephant. We've got a huge big elephant about energy. And the joke goes around, well, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is, well, one piece at a time. And I'm saying with community energy, we can just bite off one part of the big elephant and really make it work. And I say to ARENA, come and work with us in Indi and come and work with my colleagues in other places. I see my National Party colleagues here from Mallee and Murray, and I know they've got enormous amount of sun and they've got huge communities who want to do this as well. So come and work with us, rural communities. Help us work out where the regulatory barriers are. Help us work out how to do the governance models and set up the pricing so locally we can get these grids happening. And I have to say to my colleagues, in Yakandanda we've got a really good partnership going with AusNet Services. So AusNet Services are putting in the infrastructure, the Victorian government's putting in money, local government's putting in money, so we're really ready to go. But the opportunity for the nation is huge. And it's going to take real skill for ARENA to work across the governments, because traditionally that's the hard thing. But I'm really optimistic because I've seen government projects such as the city deals, where we've been able to work Commonwealth, state, local and with community groups. And I know that we've just had a review of Regional Development Australia and how RDAs work. And I'd be saying to ARENA and to other CFCs, come and work with our Regional Development Australia group and RDV Victoria, because together we could actually get this integration happening and really get terrific runs on the ground. But I really want to finish off with a message to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, I know you care about innovation, and your National Innovation and Science Agenda just gives great hope to so many people in Australia. But what I'm saying with this particular bill is it doesn't actually need make-up stuff. We don't have to conjure magic out of the ether. We've already got innovation happening in our communities. We've already got job creation happening. We've already got community involvement, state government involvement, local government involvement. And we're just on the cusp of the innovation that we know is going to make such a difference to our regional communities. It'll create jobs, it'll employ people, and it will help solve the high price of energy, and in the process build sustainability and actually build confidence in our communities. So I'm really pleased to bring this bill to the House. I look forward to the government encouraging them to bring it on to debate so that we actually can have a fair dinkum debate in the House, and my colleagues from the government side can, particularly the rural and regional Libs and Nats, can say, yep, this is a great program and it would make a huge difference to our communities, and they'd be willing to support it. So I'm very happy to commend this bill to the House.